Welcome to Podcast Answers, the show where I help you start and grow your podcast, answering any podcasting questions along the way. That's right. Today we are doing it again. We are answering podcasting questions and talking all about new things podcasting and all sorts of new things. So without further ado, here we go. So what's new today? Well, I have a couple things we're talking about today, and the first one is going to be just the fact that I got a new Rode wireless mic. Actually, this whole show is going to be about Rode, actually. So the first thing is I got the Podmic USB, and we'll be talking a little bit about that, as well as the new Rode Wireless Go Gen 3. So if stick around if either of those topics excites you. We're first going to be talking about the Wireless Go Gen 3. Rode just came out with their new version of their Wireless Go. So if you've seen it, it is the wireless pack where you have a receiver, you can put it on your camera, it comes with 2 transmitters, so you can do video. I like to use it a lot when I'm doing my walking podcasts where I walk around and I talk, because it's nice because it has onboard recording for it. So I don't need to record into my camera, but it allows me to do that recording into the Rode Wireless Go. And so I have the Wireless Pro, though, which has 32-bit onboard recording, 32-bit float onboard recording, as well as it has time sync and a bunch of other different things like that. So Rode came out with a new version of that. That's the Wireless Go, and that's Gen 3. And the cool thing about it, I guess one of the most, they've leveled up. They've added the 32-bit float onboard recording now. So essentially, if you're not familiar with that, the 32-bit onboard recording, 32-bit float onboard recording allows you to essentially have you just turn it on and it's recording, right? But the 32-bit float allows you to, if its levels are low, you can bring the levels up without introducing a whole lot of noise. And if it's too loud and it peaks, you can actually bring that down and it's not going to clip in your editing. So that really helps as far as gain and making sure that you're getting the levels 100% right. However, what the other thing that they have done on board is they've also made it lots of different colors. So in the past, it's just been the general black color that you get with that. And now they've made a whole host. You can go white, blue, orange, darker blue, green, purple, green, darker green, orange, brighter orange, pink, lavender, white, gray, all sorts of different colors. And so it's cool because if you want to just stand out a little bit different. Personally, I like the colors, but again, I'm trying to kind of hide my pack when I'm doing it. So I don't necessarily want a bright color on there, but that's one of the things that you can do now. And again, this is now becoming closer to the Wireless Pro, because now that it has the 32-bit onboard float. So again, it's just handy. It's nice if you're going to be doing any video recordings, because that allows you to take that out and record with it and not have too much issue as far as when you bring that back in. And with a 32-bit float allows you to go ahead and edit easily. Now, one of the other things, this podcast is actually going to be a whole lot about Rode today and in the future, because I also bought a Rode Wireless Interview Pro, which is the handheld mic in their wireless system. I'm actually receiving that tomorrow, so you will probably get that on the next episode of Podcast Answers. However, with the holidays coming in here, it may not be till actually after the first of the year that we get another Podcast Answers in, because I'm going to be doing some traveling and be out and about, so I will not have access to be recording. However, one of the things that we are going to talk about this week is my new Rode Podmic USB. So if you're watching the video, I'm actually using it now. And the reason I decided to get this mic is because a couple different fold. I already like Rode. I like Rode's products. I have a Rodecaster Pro. I have the Rode Wireless Go, the Rode Interview Pro. I like Rode and I like their products. But one of the things that I do like what I decided to get this for was the fact that it's not only a USB mic, but it also is XLR. So it's the dual feature. So right now I'm actually talking in it, and I have it hooked to my Rodecaster Pro via the XLR. So what does that mean for you? Well, that means that you can use it in an interface like this if I'm at home. The reason I got it though is because I want to have it when I travel. So before, when I travel, I would take a XLR USB interface like the Scarlett 2i2. I would plug it into my laptop and do podcast recording right on that. I didn't really want to handle all of that things anymore. I don't have a Rodecaster Duo. If I had a Rodecaster Duo, I probably would take that because that's nice and small. You can do all the sound pads and everything on it, but I don't have one of those. And so I was wanting to get something that I could take with me that would be USB and XLR. So I could use it while I'm at home, when I'm in the studio, but then also when I was on the go, I wanted to be able to have the Rodecaster, or sorry, not the Rodecaster, but the pod mic with me and just plug it in via USB. And so the nice thing about it is if you're used to Rode and the way that they handle the whole DSP, the digital signal processing, you can set those things on the mic itself. So if you plug it in via USB and you open up Rode Central, you can set the noise gate, the compression, the big bottom, the oral exciter, all of those things that you normally do when you're talking with Rode. You can set those, and then those settings stay in your mic. And so if you plug them into another computer, those settings still exist. So that's why I wanted to get one, because it has those things like a noise gate on it. And so if you're in a noisy environment, you can turn the noise gate on, and it helps you get a better signal. Now, one of the things that I like about it too is it has a headphone jack right on it. So you can monitor your headphones, you can monitor your mic in zero latency coming right off of that, as well as your computer. So you can use that, and you can have headphones on, and it's just like you're in a recording studio. So I'm going to do a couple different tests. Like I said, you're using the USB. I'm using the XLR right now. I'm going to pause the recording, and we're going to go over to the USB. All right, and now you are hearing me through the Rode, too many Rode names, the Rode Podmic USB. And this one is using USB, and I have the DSP on it, which means I have the noise gate, the big bottom, the oral exciter, and the the compression on it. So this is what it sounds like. And so it's really not that bad. It's really actually pretty good for what it's doing, and all of the things that you're hearing on it are from that. And so really it's a good mic to have with you when you're traveling, because again, it's small, it's easy to pack, and then you also get a ginormous USB cable with it to take with you. And it's USB-C, which is nice because I know that the Shure MV7 has a micro USB on it, and I don't like that. And so this one is nice. It's USB-C, take it with you. It's easy to go. So that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back now over to using it via XLR. And again, what I'm just really enjoying the flexibility with having it as a USB mic, because I can take it with me on trips, and it's really easy because you just need the mic, maybe a mic stand. I mean, I don't think I tried and handle this. It does okay. I mean, again, I have the processing on right now. I can turn all the processing off. So this is processing off on that mic. As you can hear, it's a little bit more, I'd say flat on it, and there is some handling noise on it. So I wouldn't want to try and use it without some sort of stand on it, because you would hear all of the handling noise. The nice thing is it does come with this screen on it. So if you're used to this windscreen, so if you're used to the original pod mic, it did not come with a screen, and this one's a nice windscreen. It fits on it, keeps the look. You could have put other windscreens on it and it probably would have done the job. However, this one is nice because it allows you to have a good windscreen that also keeps the aesthetic of the mic. So if you've seen it, it has the stripes on it and it just kind of keeps the aesthetic of the mic. And so if you're watching right now on YouTube or whatever, you see the mic, you see the way it looks, and I like that. And so again, this is going to be my mic that I'm going to be doing my recordings with at home and on the road, because I can take the mic without having to worry about it, because it is a USB mic. And so it will allow me to do that. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I really like about it. So those are the positives on it, and it does a pretty good job. You can't use it both at once. You can't have the USB plugged in as well as the XLR. It takes the USB will shut the XLR off, or I think that's the way it works. And so you can't use both at once. So you do need to know that, but it does allow you to have it plugged in. All right, guys. Well, if this has been helpful to you, I would love to help you start and grow your podcast too. You can contact me by going to podcastanswers.com/contact. And I would love to help you get your podcast set up, get your podcast started. You can do it for relatively cheap. This microphone is not that much. It's just around $200. And that's a little bit more expensive than some people want to spend on a mic. It does a great job, and it allows you to do it without all of the other hardware. You can just plug this mic right into your computer, get going right today, and have no issue starting your podcast. So if you want to do that, if you want to start your podcast, I would love to help you. Podcastanswers.com/contact.